Tom Jones, make that Sir Tom Jones, has sold more than 100 million records over his remarkable 6-decade career. In his new memoir, Over the Top and Back, Jones recounts how he rose from his roots in the coal fields of Wales to become an international singing star and honorary Knight of the Realm. Sir Tom, who's now 75, shared some of those stories with me recently at Avatar Studios here in New York. You really kind of wanted to be a white Wilson Pickett.
Yeah. And I met Otis Redding, and he said to me, man, he said, we all try to do what you do, meaning the soul singers.
Yeah.
I said, well, I'm trying to do what you
do.
What you do.
Tom Jones was 24 when he left Wales and moved to London to break into music. Within a year, he had a #1 hit.
The first time you heard It's Not Unusual, you knew it was something for you.
Yes. I said, I have to have this song. I've got to have it.
The problem was that Jones' manager, Gordon Mills, who co-wrote the song, wanted to give it to another singer. But Jones was told he could record the demo.
And Gordon said, oh, I can write 1 million of those. He never did. He never wrote another one like that.
But when that other singer, Sandy Shaw, turned down the tune, Jones got his chance.
Peter Sullivan, who was my recording manager, he said, we got to rough this up. You know what I mean? You got to rip into it. Because the demo was like, ba-da-ba-da-ba-da, it's not unusual to be loved by anyone. Ba-da-ba-da-ba-da. It was like that.
Yeah.
So we had to have something to go bap, ba-dap, and Les said, what about brass? So that was that. But it's still it's the most important record to me.
His next hit would be the theme song to a Woody Allen film, written by Burt Bacharach.
The first time you heard What's New Pussycat, what did you think?
I thought he was joking. I thought that Burt Bacharach was joking with me because it's really strange melody.
Yeah.
Even today, if you hear it ding 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 bam ding 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 bam ding ding, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was 25 then, and I thought, what is this? He said, this is not a rhythm and blues song. I said, I know that. And he said,
a string of hits through the 60s made him a star. But it was the ABC TV series, This Is Tom Jones, that made him a household name.
Is This Is Tom Jones really what kind of turned you into a sex symbol?
I think I was a sex symbol as soon as I started singing.
Do women still throw underwear at you?
No, not like, it started in the Copacabana in New York.
It did. That's where it started?
In 68, yeah. They were handing me table napkins, and this woman stood up and, just handing them to me like this. So I didn't miss a beat. I said, well, you don't catch cold, and like that. You got to sort of roll with it, you know what I mean?
Yes, you do.
But it was written up in the newspaper, you see.
Yeah.
It backfired. That one. Well, because I wasn't being taken seriously as a singer.
Yeah.
They saw that more than they heard what I was singing.
At one point, you got opposite advice from Frank Sinatra and Elvis Presley.
Yeah.
Elvis listened to Jones' records, but didn't like an album of standards he released.
He said, Tom, we don't go there. He said, we leave that to Frank. Right? We. But he said we.
Yeah.
And I thought, wow, Elvis is like...
Putting me in the same...
Yeah, exactly. So that was a big compliment to me. And then, I'd be talking to Frank Sinatra and at the Galleria bar, having a few,
Yeah.
in Caesar's Palace. And he'd say, you got a great jazz voice, Tom. Leave that pop stuff alone. You got to come with me. And I said, Frank, I love it all. I do.
That's obviously worked for you, but sometimes it's probably worked against you too, because people don't know where to put you.
Exactly. That's the problem. I always used to think that my versatility would be an asset.
Yeah.
But sometimes, people say, well, what is Tom Jones?
Yeah.
I'm not in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Do you want to be?
I would like to be, yeah. Because I'm basically, a 50s rock and roll singer.
Yeah.
He may not be in the hall yet, but since 2006, Sir Tom Jones has been a member of an even more exclusive club.
You got a knighthood.
Yeah.
Which I know means a lot to you.
Oh, yeah. When you kneel there and the Queen puts that sword on your shoulders, that was unbelievable to me. That was something that I never dreamed of in my wildest dreams, that I would become a knight.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
That was maybe one of the most fun half hours I've ever spent because the stories are unbelievable. First of all, the book, which is called Over the Top and Back now, which is on sale, it's a great read. It's really well written. It's a ton of fun. He's also released a record, kind of a companion record called Long Lost Suitcase with it. As you can see, he's in great shape. He's in great form. He looks terrific, and he still sounds terrific.
I know if he's sharing stories about panties on air with you, I can't wait to hear what else he talks about in the memoir.
You know, it's like so many great stories in this book, including the fact that he was offered My Way. Paul Anka, who wrote My Way, actually suggested to him that he should try it. But he said there's one problem. I've offered to another singer first, Frank Sinatra, who took it, of course.